Stardate JD 2456523.000000. Personal log 001. Sirius, the brightest star in Canis Major, is also now the most brilliant in our night sky. Over the summer months we have seen it rise and fall around the same time as the sun, so it is blocked by the daytime glare. The ancient Greeks and Romans blamed the oppressive heat of summer days to Canis Major's proximity to the sun, although there is no way for it to actually warm our planet, being that it is nearly 9 light years away. Canis Major, or Big Dog, has ruled the night sky all summer long, and as it begins to make its appearance in the early dawn, its visibility brings to an end what are known as the dog days of summer. Dog days were popularly believed to be an evil time. According to John Brady's Clavis Calendaria of 1813, quote, "The sea boiled, the wine turned sour, dogs grew mad, and all other creatures became languid, causing to man, among other diseases, burning fevers, hysterics, and frenzies." The Clavis Calendaria was a rumination on the cultural meaning of the measurement of time by calendar days and the associated events. The book opens thusly.
Time is defined by philosophers to be a succession of phenomena in the universe, better to be conceived than described, and of which, as Mr. Locke hath observed, we can only form an idea, quote, by considering any part of infinite duration as set out by periodical measures, end quote. Other and later philosophers define the nature of time in terms somewhat differently expressed, though in meaning precisely the same. The measure of such part of infinite duration, depending upon motion, the heavenly bodies have, in every age, been selected for that purpose, and the ancients distinguished their different seasons by the appearance of particular constellations. The cosmic rising of the Pleiades they made to denote the commencement of summer, and that of the dog star its declination. And by such general regulations alone, Aristotle marked the period of gestation and migration of animals. Subsequent knowledge enabled mankind to attain a more exact and better understood method of tracing the course of time, and to distinguish it by its epochs, millenniums, cycles, centuries, years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and moments, seconds, or instants.
In Book 11 of St. Augustine's Confessions, he reflects on the nature of time, his own question, similar to mine. What then is time? If no one asks me, I know. If I wish to explain it to one that asks, I know not. He finally settles on time being defined more by what it is not than what it is. What other concepts are defined as such, and why? In their book, American English, Dialects and Variations, linguists Walt Wolfram and Natalie Estes Schilling define the term Standard English more by what it is not, when they write that if a person's speech is free of structures that can be identified as non-standard, then it is considered standard. Following that logic, the definition of non-standard is lacking those structures which are present in Standard English. In the introduction to Rita Abrahamson's treatise on emergent political structures entitled Disciplining Democracy, Development, Discourse, and Good Governance in Africa, her argument is summarized as such. The language of democracy and capitalism is used to construct a discursive other, a, quote, third world that is defined more by what it is not than by what it is. The absence of traits like democratic culture and entrepreneurial spirit in the constructed other in turn suggests certain types of interventions. In both instances, those things that, like time, are defined more by what they are not than by what they are can be defined then by their lack of non-standard structures, their lack of democratic and entrepreneurial traits. I wonder, what does time lack? In his seminar, Les Transferts, psychoanalytic philosopher Jacques Lacan states that lack is what causes desire to arise. What desires are created by the lack intrinsic to time? And as Abrahamson proposes, how does that lack both define and suggest certain types of interventions? How is time defined by our desire? Let us return to the dog days of summer. What do we desire now as the days become shorter, as the leaves fall, as the temperature drops? The tornadoes turn down, the forest fires are extinguished, the floods dry up, and the droughts are watered. The crops are harvested, the crime rate plunges, and the children are put to bed on time. What do we desire now more than a glass of water, a chance to breathe, a place to sit, a view of our land, to taste the sweet fruit of our labor and share it with the people we love? Do we not all deserve these things? Are we too defined by our lack, by our desire? What interventions are suggested now at the end of our dog days of summer?